In this video, we will be talking about the top 5 predictions for the Toronto housing market for the new year 2025. We will talk about the average price of a home, number of transactions, condo market, both sale and for lease, and then our interest rate forecast for the new year. We will begin each segment by going over what has already happened in the market. We'll do a 2024 recap, and then we'll dive into the 2025 forecast. Hey everyone, my name is Moaeez Rehman. I'm a local real estate agent. Let's dive into the details. So as the year began, at that time, the average price of the average home across the Greater Toronto area was $978,835. This chart is a representation of the home values in Toronto so far this year. They begin low. From there on, there begins the uphill trajectory from February to May. We then see a dip consistently until August. This is mainly due to the increase of new inventory that came on the market, ultimately leaving buyers with more options. In a balanced real estate market, the average appreciation throughout the year is usually 3 to 5%. Now, I have spent a few hours reading every single report out there available where experts are sharing their forecast regarding the average price, and I would like to share them with you for the year 2025. Southern Ontario forecasts that in the year 2025, the home values will appreciate, but at the standard 3 to 5%. Mortgage Sandbox anticipates that the market prices will not appreciate and the home values will remain the way they are throughout the whole year of 2025. Canadian Real Estate Association does forecast a price appreciation, and they anticipate between 6.2 to 6.6% appreciation in home values in the year 2025. My personal forecast is that we will see an increase in the number of residential transactions, especially because home ownership is becoming more affordable with the mortgage payments coming down due to the rate cuts. However, I do not anticipate a massive increase in the value of real estate. I forecast 3 to 5%. Now let's dive into the number of real estate transactions that we have had so far this year in 2024 and what the forecast is for 2025. Now, at the time this video was recorded, we did not have the December stats available to us, so we will only factor in 11 months from the 2024 year when sharing this data with you. So far this year, excluding the numbers for December because they haven't happened just yet, we have seen a total of 54,393 residential transactions. It is anticipated that if we continue on the current trend, we will end the year with roughly 62,000 residential transactions. Before the year began, in anticipation of the rate cuts, it was originally forecasted that we will end the year with roughly 70,000 residential transactions. So here is a breakdown of how all those residential transactions were broken down. Now, please note this is not completely accurate because an accurate figure for this segment does not exist. This is the best I was able to put together with all the research and data available to me. I have created this pie chart to give you a better understanding of how the transactions were split. 31.4% of the transactions were done in the condo market, give and take, and the remaining amount of transactions were done in the freehold market. It is forecasted that in 2025, we will see a 12% increase in the number of real estate transactions and the number of homes that will sell, ultimately hitting the goal of 70,000 residential transactions. I believe more first-time home buyers will begin to enter into the market because now owning a condo is relatively the same price or a little bit more compared to now renting a condo. So for many families, it will make financial sense to own rather than renting. Now let's dive into the stats for the rental market. The Toronto rental market has been a busy one for the past 2 years, mainly driven by the fact that mortgage costs were simply unaffordable due to high interest rates. So far this year, we have seen 48,481 lease transactions in Q1, Q2, and Q3. Q4 data is not yet available. I have created this chart to give you a visual as to how the rental transactions have gone up month over month so far this year in Toronto. Another chart breaking down how many of those transactions were done in the condo market and how many in the freehold market. Approximately 80% of these transactions were done in the condo market, and the remaining remaining 20% were done in the freehold market. Now let's talk about the condo market. Now I know there have been a lot of misleading articles regarding the condo market, but in this segment I'm going to share data with you so you know exactly what to believe regarding the Toronto condo housing market. Now as a whole, the Toronto condo market has gone through a very rough patch this year, mainly due to increased inventory and lesser demand. Here is a line graph showing you the increase of condo inventory that we have seen in the year 2024. We began the year with 5,850 condo listings in Q1. We hit 16,917 listings in Q2, which is a record high. And we ended Q3 with 14,721 listings. The data for Q4 is not available just yet. So far, this is a 36.5% increase in the number of new condo listings that hit the market compared to the year 2023. Now that was for condo listings. Let's talk about how many condos sold and how many condo sales we had. As an overall, the number of condos that we sold so far this year are down by 4.4% compared to the year 2023. As you can see on this chart, we saw an uphill trajectory in the number of condo sales from Q1 to Q2, and a downward trend from there on. This graph is an indicator of the number of condo listings that hit the market and how many of those units actually sold. As for the average condo prices, we saw a little bit of life, but we were still down year over year. Let me explain. We began the year with the average condo being valued at $693,754. It then spiked up in Q1 and then came down and is now currently sitting at $713,801 on a year. Through every single expert report, it is widely believed that the condo market will continue to suffer in the year 2025, and the prices will likely come down even further, approximately 1 to 4%. In addition to all the condo listings that we currently have on the market, city reports indicate that we should be expecting 30,000 new unit completions directly from the builder, out of which many will also hit the market as well, ultimately growing the number of listings that we will have on the market at one given time in the condo market. Now let's talk about the hottest topic of the year and likely one of the hottest topics of 2025, and that is interest rates. Now I'm quite familiar with the mortgage industry because I guide my clients in obtaining their mortgage, but I wanted you to hear from an industry expert, a top mortgage agent, sharing what has happened this year with our interest rate and what is their forecast as to what we should expect will happen with the interest rate in the year 2025.
So if you're talking about real estate in 2025, then we have to talk about mortgages. And the first thing that comes to people's mind is rates. So interest rates, especially when it comes to variable rates, right now we're probably expecting about another 0.75% decrease by the end of this year. That'll probably bring up variable rates somewhere in the ballpark of 3.7% to around 4%. Now, when it comes to fixed rates, I think for the most part, they're going to start settling down to maybe a little bit lower than what they're currently at. I don't think they're going to be making a huge drop, and maybe that's just a hot take, all right? And a few things to kind of contribute in affecting that, which is primarily the bond market. You've got Trump's presidency, you've got the tariffs that are potentially coming our way, you've got our internal elections coming through, you're talking about our internal policies. If even the Liberal Party switches out for a Conservative Party, let's see what kind of policies they bring into play. And then also our currency. Our currency is probably, not all-time low, but it's relatively low right now. So depending on all these factors, I don't see the fixed market moving too much. The second topic I want to talk about is B-side lending, which is also called alternative lending. This is a space to be very vigilant of because they're becoming very, very competitive with the big banks. For example, a 3-year fix right now for them goes for about 4.89%. You're also finding a lot of B-side lenders who are offering a variable rate mortgage. Typically, they did not ever offer that in the past. This is the first time they're doing so. So again, a great alternative to those who cannot qualify in those big banks. Next up, we've got our first-time home buyers. Now, this is a topic I love and I really feel for because it's become so hard to purchase a property here in Ontario, especially within the GTA. So a few great things that are coming your way. You've got increased amortization as first-time home buyers. You've also got an increase in your purchase price. You can go from $1 million to $1.5 million. But you know what? Take all this with a grain of salt. At the end of the day, to qualify for these mortgages, the incomes that you need are substantially higher. And on top of that, you're paying more interest for a longer period of time. Essentially, the equity that you're trying to build up by paying down the principal, it'll take you forever to build that up. So just take that with a grain of salt. And at the end of the day, the market is going to be getting competitive within that segment. But make sure you hire the right professional, a professional who's not working at a bank, making $80,000, who already rents their own property, they've never purchased in their life. Make sure you're getting expert advice, because if there's a time that you needed professional guidance, it's probably now. The next piece of advice I'm going to give you is primarily for those who have renewals that are coming up. So renewals have become a lot more easier. In fact, if you're doing a direct switch, if you're moving your principal balance from one bank to another bank, you no longer need to be stress tested. For a majority of Canadians who are having their renewals come up, I think they can take a sigh of relief. Interest rates have obviously been cut down a little bit. And on top of that, you do have the advantage of not being re-stress tested for that same mortgage. So lots of options for you to shop around outside of your existing bank. Last but not least, for those who are looking to refinance and consolidate all their bad debts into one, let go of that 2020 baggage of debt that you've been carrying and dragging for the last 5 years. Get rid of it. People are paying $7,000 a month just to service their credit card debt and their line of credit debt. Get rid of that, consolidate it within your mortgage, where you're going to be paying off the principal much faster, be paying less interest on it. At the end of the day, this is your chance to start fresh and start planning to stabilizing your financials moving forward. Overall, a lot of great things for Canadians to look forward to in 2025 related mortgages. The only thing I want to stress to many Canadians is at the end of the day, make the right financial decisions so you're stable for your life moving forward and you get peace of mind when you sleep at night. You don't want to stress yourself out due to financials. It's a very simple fix. So that's all I've got for you, and good luck in 2025.
So there you have it, our top 5 predictions as to what you can expect in the 2025 Toronto real estate market. The whole idea behind sharing this data with you is to give you the real stuff so you can then decide how you should go about your real estate goals for the new year. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like icon. That helps me and the algorithm tremendously in understanding what kind of content you're actually finding valuable, so I can create more of it for you. If you would like to book a complimentary 15-minute consultation to go over your home buying goals or home selling goals to see if it makes sense for you and how you can save the most amount of money, you can go to the link below or find my email address in the description and reach out to me directly. See you in the next video. Signing out, Moaeez, Rehman.